Right, okay, so we'll start. So students while online, can you confirm whether you can hear me properly?
Yes, sir, we can hear you. Thanks.
Okay, so we'll start the advanced management accounting. First of all, have you went through the LM? So LMS के उड़ावा दिपे हुआ. Advanced management accounting is nothing after that. What is it? Here you can see a calendar, right? So when you go to this, what you can see. Lecture will be coming at 12 p.m. and after 12:15 p.m. no one will allow the lecture. Okay, that's it. So I will be starting the lecture by 12 o'clock. I will start by 12:60. So by 12:60, you have to be there sharp 12:50. So I will be starting the lecture by 12:50. 12:50 when you pass it, right? So if someone comes after 12:50, take care of them. You can pass it away. Right? What's that allowed? After our the previously and themselves. Level 45 again. 11:45 after the father is 12:8, I will start in the race. Right? Okay, so then so in LMS, I'll upload all the lecture materials. Then you can go through that. I have uploaded some lecture materials. You can go through. Right, okay. Okay, so before moving to the lecture, I'll just go through what are the things that we have discussed. So, some of you might have learned from the detailed regime So some of you don't know about this. Mandan is that these are what are 30 pixel. Also, your name and where are you working? Yeah. So after that, if you want, I explain about myself. If you don't know, we'll start the lecture. Next. Oh, no, ready. Not good. Why not good? Right. So from the next semester onwards, you have to complete your internships. Right? Therefore, if you are not working currently, it's better to find a place and start working because especially when you are working, it's better to work in a C-approved organization. C-approved organization, like a Nemiman, whether you won't be able to. Right? These are C-approved organization. And C-approved organization, to get that. Still, if you are not working C-approved organization, you can complete the training requirement of that campus for the degree. But to get the exemptions, the training component should be complete. So therefore, we try to start working in a CR organization and start recording those CR. Card is back. Devo lei weekend ke baar Sadi dasa bola de doctor ki Right. First one, metta work කරන්න පටන් ගන්න. That's a so when you are going to complete the degree, if you don't have the CFO training, you won't be able to get the exemptions. So it's better to complete it. I mean, one thing we got engineering, so that you can complete the CA funding level to better to work in a CFO organization. After training complete, training complete. Right. So to the online students also, I hope that you might have completed CA previously CA training. Yeah, if you are not completed CA training, it's better to complete it. Then you can easily get the exemptions as well for the CA. Right. Okay. So. मैं को डाल मैं खाली के पानी दे दिया अरे पानी के लाभ करते हैं खाली के पानी दे दिया then so previously you might have discussed about the cost and management accounting. You might learn about the cost and management accounting here one semester. So from year one semester to cost and management accounting, and this particular so this semester you have the advanced management accounting. This is the final module related to management accounting. These are lazy at a yeah. Right. So this is the final module related to management accounting. Therefore, don't think that this is second year subject. So in previous syllabus, right? I'll just explain about the depth of the subject. Previous curriculum before your curriculum in 2013 curriculum, there were 3 modules related to management accounting. That is fundamentals of management accounting, intermediate management accounting, and strategic management accounting. Same content. There are some new additions as well for this curriculum. Same content divided into 2 modules. Modules modules divided. And currently we have the cost and management accounting and the advanced management accounting. So modules today, fundamentals of management accounting plus some parts of intermediate management accounting included in your cost and management accounting module that you have discussed previously, right? Then some parts of the balance part of intermediate management accounting module plus the strategic management accounting module, the previous syllabus. It is included in here as an advanced management accounting. It include the new trends in management accounting. So previously the strategic management accounting module, the previous syllabus, it was in final year, final semester. Then ඒටිකම තමයි තවත් අලුතෙන් ඇඩ් වෙලා තියෙන්නේ second year, second semester. ඒ නිසා මේක පොඩි මොඩියුල් එකක් විදිහට හිතන්න එපා. So ඒ වෙබ් එකේ සම්පූර්ණ එහෙමක තියෙනවා. And you know that this is a accounting degree. Accounting, we have two major areas, financial accounting and management accounting. So if we take management accounting, this is the final module related to management accounting. We can take over management accounting තියෙන ඕන ඔක්කොම advanced aspects එක මේකේ තියෙනවා. Right? So therefore basic එක ගන්න. අමාරුත් නෑ basic නෑ. So in cost and management accounting module that you have learned previously, you might have discussed about different calculations. Mostly, it is consists of the calculations. 60%, 70% of the calculations DNA. How the modulated? How? ඒක ගොඩක් වෙලාවට තියෙන්නේ නැත්තේ ඔයගොල්ලන්ට calculations. Calculations the thing is. Methods for that to be evaluated. Process costing, variance analysis, or anything. Right. So here in advanced management accounting module, there are calculations, but not like cost and management accounting. Here we have few calculations, but based on the calculations, mostly you have to do a analysis part, right? This is some kind of a less calculations and more into analysis. Some other questions so that you might not have to do any calculations. Answers will be provided. Some other exam එකේදී ගණන් හදන්න කියලා හිතාගෙන ගියාට ගණන් හදන්න නැහැ ගණන් ටික මොම හදලා දීලා තියෙනවා. So you have to analyze based on those calculations answers. Right? So here this subject is that is how this is different from the cost and management accounting. Cost and management accounting, it's also for fasting. What is fast? Right. So then that is the difference between the cost and management accounting module and the advanced management accounting module. So there are some advanced aspects and we'll discuss one by one. So today I'm not going to discuss any kind of advanced aspects or strategic management accounting concepts, nothing. So we'll be starting from beginning. We want that to look. So these are some of the areas that we are going to discuss. If we go through the course outline, we open the mainly, these are the topics that we have to discuss. Cost management in modern manufacturing environment, the activity-based costing, activity-based costing करा दे ना उधर cost and management accounting module then strategic cost management, environmental aspects, standard cost and variance analysis. Mostly there will be not included mostly the calculations. The analysis part will be there. And budgetary control and planning. Here you can see the weight is 5%. Can you calculations make calculations now. Right? Mostly for the budgeting. Here we have the new trends in budgeting and the strategic aspects of budgeting, not the calculations. Then the performance measurements, transfer pricing, balance scorecard, so the optimizing with multiple limiting factors. So that is linear programming. Linear programming that's right. So the linear programming, then pricing, big data, risk and uncertainty, make it module. right? It's not entirely management accounting. The making of Sampurna management accounting, right? So there are management accounting areas, but you can see here some of the mathematical calculations are there. Then IT related things, big data, okay. How the module exam right. So then here you can go through one by one and see what are the things that you have to observe. And the assignments we'll discuss later. What we are going to do as assignment. And here you can see the recommended readings. And that you are going to give a name. Bold and give us. So these books are available at the library. Library library exam library CA library CA library you buy if you go you can identify there are a lot of books right related to the accounting wala resources library related to accounting so those correct library really right? So these books you don't need to purchase. If there is anything needed, I will upload. So those are the things that we have discussed. And next. Right, okay, so we'll start the lesson. Ask you to discuss and then mobile phones use and that would work is for you can use the mobile phone for an urgent situation. Because like that, it means to have to make a call. Call like a canal, or what is usually no issues, right? By one action and the land only there. How you see God and takes the gun. There are some personal text. Current again, we said current. You know that the right is a second focus correct there. Part of happening there. Like college must have lecture out done. So like filing lectures are about giving a lecture doesn't because make it put down the discipline and the owner it's a cloud income. That's some other over the day. They say nobody without a visa for it's again. It's again, there's a number that man today is up. Now you can see. How you can Advanced management accounting get Okay. Right, so we'll directly start. Again, one again, right? Right. Okay. So we'll start the lecture. So this is, even though it says introduction to advanced management accounting, this is not advanced management accounting, right? So we are going to discuss about the basic things today. Cost and management accounting one ඉගෙනගෙන නැහැ. කියලා හිතලා තමයි මේ පාඩම කරන්නේ. නිසා සමාජාන විතරයි ඔය අපි දන්නවා කියලා. දන්නවා නම් ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ. ඒක ඉන්න දන්නේ නැති කවුරු හරි හිටියොත් කියලා තමයි මම මේ අද දවසේ මේ ලෙසන් එක කරන්නේ. Right. So even though this call it as advanced management accounting, this is entirely strategic management accounting, right? So in strategic management accounting, first of all, before moving to strategic management accounting, we should know what is management accounting. Without knowing what is management accounting, we can't move to strategic management accounting, right? Without knowing about accounting, we can't move to the management accounting. So first, we'll starting from accounting and then step by step we'll move to the management accounting and strategic management accounting. Right? Okay, so these are the learning outcomes. So mainly understanding the management accounting concepts. Then there are different worldviews of management accounting. It means there are different people who are looking at management accounting practices in different ways. Right? Management accounting. So those worldviews will be discussing. Then the evolution of management accounting, how management accounting has changed from previous days to now. The management accounting, what is the new trends that we have and what we have done previously. So those are the things, and finally, by knowing those things, then we can interpret what is strategic management account. Right? Those are the things that we are going to discuss. So under that, here we can see the different topics. As I earlier mentioned, first we are focusing on the basic concepts of management accounting. After that, we can move to the strategic management account. Right. Now tell me, what is accounting? I don't need any definitions. Just tell me what we do in accounting or what is accounting. Also, maybe a second semester statement. What is the main purpose of accounting? What is the main purpose of accounting? Decisions. To make decisions. Right. Any other answers? Main purpose of accounting? We take decisions, that is true. Main purpose of accounting is not to record. Sorry? Recording. Recording summarizing financial statements and taking decisions. Those are different activities that we do. Main purpose of accounting is not to prepare statements or summarizing or categorizing, classifying, or even taking decisions. So the main purpose of accounting is to providing information. That's it. When we provide information, we can't just provide information. Then we have to do those steps. Collect or summarize. Those things we have to do. But the main purpose of accounting is to provide information to take decisions. The main purpose is to provide information. Right? So when we are providing information, these things that we have to do. So the accounting is a process of identifying, measuring, and communicating economic information to permit informed judgments and decisions by the users of information. Right. So the process of identifying. What we identify? What we have to identify first. Information, then identify what we are going to identify. What is the main purpose of accounting? Providing information. How we provide information? Through preparing financial statements. Information. Provide to prepare financial statements, first of all, what we need? We have to identify transactions. Right? First step is to identification of the transactions. Without identifying the transactions, we can't do anything in account. That is the basic step, first step. Right? So in accounting, once we identify the transactions, the second step is to measure it. Without measuring the transactions, we can't provide information. Transaction, we can't get the value should be there. We have to measure it according to the currency that the country is using. So the second step is to once we identify the transactions, we have to measure. After measuring and the communicating, we have huge process in accounting. Measuring okay, there's a transaction amounting this. Then we have to record those things. We have to classify, summarize. We have good steps. Finally, we are preparing different financial statements, and using those financial statements, we are communicating information to take decisions. Right? So it is a process. In accounting, that is a process. And in that process, we have to do a lot of activities. So when we do those processes, we have to follow different rules like the double entry bookkeeping system. Finally, the ultimate objective of accounting is to provide information to take decisions, not to prepare financial statements. However, I was accounting statements that is true. We prepare statements, but we prepare statements to provide information. So our ultimate objective of the accounting is to provide information to take decisions. Right? While we are doing that, we have a lot of processes to do. Right? Okay. Then what is management accounting? So now you know about cost and management accounting. You might learn about those things. So now we know there are two different accounting practices: financial accounting and management accounting. Tell me some differences between financial accounting and management accounting. What are their differences? Financial accounting giving information for external parties. Financial accounting, we provide information for both internal and external parties, not only for the external parties. Right? Mostly external parties are different. Our main target is to provide information for the external parties in financial accounting, but Internal parties also can differ. Management accounting, we are not providing information for the external part, only for the internal purpose, right? So if we focus on users, mainly financial accounting, users are internal and external both. But management accounting, only internal parties are referring management accounting information. Why? Why only internal parties are referring? If we provide these information to the external parties, what will happen? External parties will be finance, management accounting information will not. Are they? But then, if we give information, what will happen? I think here. What will happen if we provide management accounting information? What will happen? Company information. Right. So, if we provide management accounting information for the external parties, they can get some kind of advantage from those information. Because the management accounting information we consider as confidential information, right? So it consists of mostly it is focusing on the futuristic areas of our organization. So if we focus on the time that we consider in financial accounting, is it past or future? Financial accounting will be considered past information, right? So we are just focusing on past information and we record what has happened previously and we provide the information in financial account. Management accounting, past the future. Past, present and future, right? Because here in management accounting, we can't, so we are mainly focusing on future, that is true. But we can't predict the future without focusing on the past information and what is currently happening, the present information. We can't predict the future. So if we focus on the time, we are mainly focusing on past, present and future in management accounting. Financial accounting, we just focus on the past. What has happened, we are recording, right? Statements. But management accounting information are not like that. It is confidential information. It consists of future plans as well. So if you go through any annual report also, you won't be able to identify management accounting information. It's really difficult. Only information they are just providing, they have this kind of plan, that's it, right? In detail information, you won't be able to identify. But in annual reports, you can see annual financial statements and every past information are recorded. What are the other differences? So structure in financial accounting, we have different structures. Statements, all the statements, we have a proper structure, we have to follow all the structures. But in management accounting, structures there are no structures. right? But one is around polo. ये particular the exam में कि ये क्या देवाल करा है को पढ़ा तेरे में भी नहीं there are no structures in management accounting, but you have to provide the information in an understandable manner, right? What else? Here in financial accounting, we prepare statements mostly the annual basis. There are some quarterly requirements as well in financial accounting, but mainly we are preparing the annual financial statements. But in management accounting, if management requires, sometimes you might have to prepare statements or the reports. Hourly, reports. It can be annually, monthly. Based on the management requirement, we can prepare in management accounting whatever the statements or the reports. And if we focus on the standards, do we have standards in financial accounting? What are the standards we have? In Sri Lankan context, what we have? LKSs and SLFRs. In global context, IASs and IFRs, those things we have converted into Sri Lankan context. Right. Then management accounting, do we have standards? Management accounting or standards there are no the globally accepted accounting standards, but organizations itself they can develop their own standards. There are no issues, right? In financial accounting, again financial statements and all. Same structure should be followed, same standard should be there. But in management accounting, it's not like that. There are no globally accepted accounting standards. But if our organization goes, organization will go standard, able to follow that, but it is only internal, right? So that is about the standards. So if we have standards in line with the standards, the standards will not be make a prepare what we do? We do audits. Right? In financial accounting, we have audits. Management accounting, we don't have globally accepted audits, but internally we do internal process of audits we do. Standard internally we develop a standard and we check whether we are following that particular process properly or not. That we can do. Not like the external audits. Right? What is the main purpose of having standards? The standard standards, what is the main purpose of having standards? Accuracy. To maintain the accuracy, we have to have standards. Okay. Then we don't have standards in management accounting. Again, management accounting will accuracy or not. Management accounting will accuracy order at the So what is the main purpose of having standards? Maintain the consistency. maintain the consistency. That is one reason, but not the main reason of having standards. Comparability and consistency means those are the two, one of, not the main reason. Those are different other reasons to have standards. The main purpose of having standard is to safeguard the users of financial information. Right? Standard එකක් දාන්නේ accuracy එක check කරන්න තමයි. ඊට consistency එක තියෙනවා තෝරන. That's also true. Then comparability should be there. මේ ඔක්කොම කරන්නේ why we need to have the accuracy and consistency and comparability to safeguard the users of financial information. Just think, if we don't have standards, standards nothing. Counting standards, what will happen? Assume that we are starting organization, right? Company have started. So in that organization, we are preparing financial statements. ඉතින් අපි මේ ඉන්න රටේ standards නැහැ. ඒ රටේ common standards නැහැ. ඒක වෙනද? There are no accounting standards in this particular country. Assume we have first year of operations, we have 50 million loss. අපි මොනවද කරන්නේ? Standard standards there. අපි පළවෙනි පාර business එක start කරලා when we are doing the business, we have 50 million loss. 50 million loss එකක් තියෙනවා කියලා ඉලියන්නේ. If we don't have standards, we will definitely manipulate those financial statements. 50 million loss එකේ අර වහන අයින් කරලා 50 million profit කියලා දෙන්න. Because if we don't have standards, we can do that. Right? To safeguard the users of financial information, that is why we have standards. So the standards, users are safeguard. So that is not only for the external users, right? External or internal, any users, to safeguard them, we have to have standards. That's a good idea. Management accounting or standards that management accounting will have the standards that Yeah, but why we don't have standards in management accounting? Emang ada nanti ketika accurate even though that tapi kalau tidak what is the main purpose of having standards? What is the main purpose of having standards? To safeguard the users. Who are the users of management accounting information? Internal parties, right? So internal parties, when they are doing those management accounting practices, in financial accounting, just think in financial accounting, if we do any errors or intentionally, if we do any kind of a fraud, who will be suffering from that? අපි intentionally මොකක් හරි වැරද්දක් කරොත් financial accounting වල තමන් ඉස්සර කිව්වේ අපි 50 million we had a 50 million loss we convert as a 50 million profit. Who will be suffering from that? Internal parties or external parties? External parties, because we intentionally do those kind of errors to manipulate financial statements and ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ ඒ වචනේ කියනවා නම් අන්දන්න පුළුවන් විදිහට අපි statements වෙනස් කරනවා. So then external parties will be suffering from that. To safeguard the external parties from that, we have standards, right? In management accounting, the main purpose of having standards is to safeguard the users. Then who are the users in management accounting? Internal parties. Again, අපි දන්නවා මේ informations ටික refer කරන්නේ කවුද? අපිම තමයි. So when we know that if we do any kind of an error or any kind of a fraud for the management accounting information, who will be suffering? Internal parties. Again, අපේ company එකේ අපි මොකක් හරි හොර වැඩක් කරොත් management accounting වල අපිටම තමයි ප්‍රශ්නේ. So in that case, are we going to do those kind of අපි අපිටම වැරද්දක් කරන දෙයක් කරනවා? So we don't need to have standards there. Standards in the order there management accounting because we know that no need to have standards because we know if we do any kind of an error intentionally or if we do any kind of a fraud intentionally for the management accounting information, we have to suffer from it. So අපිටම නම් ඔගේ ප්‍රශ්නේ ඉන්නේ we are not going to do any kind of errors. වැරදිලා වෙන්න පුළුවන්. Intentionally අපි informations ටික හොර වැඩ කරන්න එහෙම කරන්නේ නැහැ management accounting information. Therefore, we don't need to have standards in management accounting, right? So those are the major differences that we have in financial accounting and management accounting. Mainly, users are the internal and external, both users are referring financial accounting. And the management accounting only the internal parties. Because the internal informations we consider as the management accounting informations we consider as the confidential information. It consists of mostly the future directions of the company. Then if you focus on time, financial accounting focusing on past, management accounting focusing on past, present and future. And if you focus on the standards, in management accounting, we don't have standards. Financial accounting, we have standards. Why we have standards? Mainly to safeguard the users of financial information. Right? So then, to check whether we are following properly those standards or not, we have to have separate audits to check that. So those are the major differences between financial accounting and management accounting. Okay. So here we can see the management accounting, the characteristics. The management accounting or the managerial accounting is concerned with the provisions and the use of accounting information. Provisions means futuristic information and information to managers within the organizations. It means the internal parties, to provide them with the basis to make informed business decisions that will allow them to be a better equipped in management and control functions. In management accounting, mainly we have two aspects, that is planning and controlling power. Right? So not like financial accounting. In financial accounting, mostly we are not doing the planning part. We just take the information what we have done previously, and based on the information we can take decisions. But in management accounting, from the beginning of the activities of the management accounting, we do the planning. Budgets are the so we prepare budgets for one particular time period, and at the end of that particular time period, what we do, we check whether we have achieved those budgets or not. That is the controlling part. So in management accounting, financial accounting වගේ අවුරුද්ද ඉවරනාට පස්සේ statement හදන එක නෙමෙයි. There are a lot of activities in between the financial years. Right? Okay, so these are different features. It is not constrained by the external reporting requirements. There are no external reporting requirements for the management accounting. Then it extends beyond the traditional measures of cost and revenues. Management accounting, it is not just identifying the cost or the identifying the revenue. There are a lot of activities. So the previous days when we start management accounting, our main focus is to identify the cost. Right? I'll explain step by step how management accounting has changed from previous days to now. And it is future oriented, but we have to focus on the past and present as well. And mainly, if we take financial accounting, normally financial accounting starting from books and then it goes to organizational practices. Financial accounting පටන් ගන්න පොත්වල. Right? පොත්වල තියෙන දේවල් තමයි අපි practice එකේ කරන්නේ. That is how financial accounting. For an example, if we take accounting standards mean in a company. So accounting standards developed by the accounting standard board or whatever the organization. If we take the Sri Lankan context, CA Sri Lanka is developing the accounting standards. They go to hadala make a document karna make the standards. So organization should follow whatever the included in this particular book, standard book starting from books and goes to the organization. Management accounting, other way around. Management accounting can be management accounting starting from the organization and then it comes to the books. අපි දැන් පොත්වල දිනනවා තමයි ඉගෙන ගන්න. ඒකට පොත්වල ඉන්නේ පටන් ගන්න. කවුරු හරි ඕත කෙනෙක් ඇවිල්ලා මෙහෙම කරොත් හොඳයි කියලා කියලා නැහැ. Management accounting, all the management accounting practices are starting from the organizations. Right? In organization, they try to develop new methods to reduce the cost. If they succeed, those things will be recorded in different books. For research, identify. Okay, so this method is suitable. Then those things will be recorded in different research journals or books. Alright, organization is right? So financial accounting or management accounting, there are clear differences. The word is research research in fourth year you have to do research. Right? Research fourth year when you are going to conduct different research. In next semester, you have to develop research proposal in another module, research methodology. You have to research proposal, right? In third year, first semester. Based on that particular research proposal, you have to complete your final year research. Assignment ChatGPT research proposal submit ඒක පොඩ්ඩක් මහන්සි වෙලා කරන්න. semester එකේ තමයි ලියන්නේ වෙන කවුරුත් කියන එකක් නෑ ඒක මම කියන්නේ. ඒක හදිස්සියකට මොකක් හරි ඔය ඉතින් කරලා submit කරාට පස්සේ ඒක තමයි ඔයගොල්ලන්ට fourth year second semester එකේ as a research you have to do that particular research proposal. එතකොට fourth year second semester එකේදී මතකත් නෑ මේ මොකක්ද අපි දුන්නේ කියලා. දැන් මේක ඇත්තටම කරන්නේ බෑ. සමහර ලාවට කොහෙන් හරි අරගෙන දෙනවා. That research proposal is sometimes some students are submitting research proposal. PhD එකකවත් කරන්න බැරි research proposal දෙනවා. දැන් දාලා නිකන් මේක submit කරනවා. දන්නේ නැහැ මේක මොකද්ද වෙන්නේ කියලා. කරන්නේ කියන්න ගන්න. ඒ නිසා when you are doing a research proposal, clearly identify what you are going to do and select the area that you are comfortable. Right? ඔයගොල්ලෝ කැමති area එකක් ගන්න. කැමති area එකක් කියන්නේ accounting related. ඔය HR marketing ඒවා ගන්න බෑ. Accounting related, in accounting also there are a lot of areas you can select one particular area and you have to identify a research question. Become for example. For an example, I'll explain. One student, but I can't remember the exact research topic. That research is about ethical practices of chartered accountants of Sri Lanka. Chartered accountants ethically job duties research. The good research. In Viva session, in the proposal presentation that student has presented, then I asked how you are going to conduct this. Chartered accountants ethically So there are different ways of doing that particular research. Research but in undergraduate level you can't do that. Because proposal research research complete research complete general leaking general complete general leaking right? So carefully do the research proposal. So there are different ways of doing research. Give example that particular research can be done in different ways. You can't go and ask from the chartered accountants whether you are ethically behaving or not. So for that, we can observe them how they are doing their activities. But that we can't do as a undergraduate. That we can do in a next level, in masters or the PhD level. So therefore, identify a research question, then you are going to do a research, whether it is doable research or not. Right? You can research after. Okay, how is information some kind of extent from that. So for that, you can clearly identify a verbal result. Right. So that is something else. So next, so there are different worldviews of management accounting. Right. So as I earlier mentioned, there are different worldviews. It means there are different people who are focusing on management accounting in different ways. So there are three different worldviews: technical managerial view, pragmatic interpretative view, and critical socio-economic view. Management accounting කියන්නේ මෙන්න මේකයි කියලා මේ එක කට්ටියක් මේක කියනවා. First worldview is the technical managerial view. So technical managerial view means according to this, management accounting is set of calculative practices and managerial function. මේක මතක තියාගන්න හරි ලේසි. So here so there are two words, technical and managerial. So technical means calculative practices. Managerial means management function. කියන්නේ ලෝකෙ මිනිස්සුන්ගෙන් එක පිරිසක් ඉන්නවා management accounting කියලා ඒගොල්ලෝ කියන්නේ in this management accounting practices there are calculative practices and it is we are using that as a managerial function, right? So that is about technical managerial view. So these are some of the calculative practices that we do in management accounting: product costing, budgeting, variance analysis, CVP, investment appraisals, ABC. So most of the things you might have discussed previously, and so those things we call it as the calculative practices. Then next we have the managerial function. In organizations there are certain managerial functions like marketing, HR, finance, logistics, research and development, and accounting. So the management accounting also one managerial function that we do in business. It is included in finance and accounting function. So finance and accounting කියන එක යටතේ management accounting part එක. ඒකට මේකෙන් කියන්නේ ලෝකීන සමහර management accounting දිහා බලන්න. This is a set of calculative practices and the managerial function. Right? So that is one thing. The next one, okay. So the technical managerial view, management accounting is set of calculative practices and managerial functions. And when management accounting techniques are used, the same outcomes are expected. So these people who believe the management accounting under the technical and managerial view, they are saying that when we use management accounting practices, right, the same outcomes they are expecting as well. Again, management accounting වල කියනවා නම්, let's say when we are doing activity based costing, we can reduce the cost. ඒක කියලා කියනවා නම් ABC use කරාට පස්සේ reduce cost එක reduce කරන්න ඒ විදිහටම reduce වෙනවා කියලා තමයි මේ කට්ටිය හිතන්නේ. So these are different ways, right? It means if we are using this particular technique, a technique we use කරායින් පස්සේ the result එක actually this result will be coming for us. It is not true in different situations. Those methods will not be work for us, right? Therefore, the technical managerial view considers no distinctions between the theory and practice. Whether the theory ki practice එකේ කිසිම difference එකක් නැහැ කියලා තමයි කියන්නේ. There are no differences between theory and practice. If theory states that if you are using this method, you can save the cost. In practical situations also, you can do that, right? But in actual situations, sometimes it can be true. Right? The activity based costing කියන එක හැමදාම use කරන්න බෑ. In different situations, we might not be able to use it properly. But these people who are believing the management accounting as a technical managerial view, they are saying when we use some kind of a technique. පොතේ කියලා තියෙනවා නම් මේ ටෙක්නික් එකෙන් cost එක අඩු වෙනවා කියලා ඒක ඕන තැනකදී එහෙමයි කියලා තමයි කියන්නේ. These are different ways. So the theory and practice, there are two different things. Sometimes theory and practice can be same. Most of the time the theory what we learn and the practice that we do is completely different. සාමාන්‍යයෙන් කියන්නේ අපි කොච්චර ඉගෙන ගත්තත් නැහැ කියලා Excel එකේ වැඩ කරන්නේ. ඒ වගේ තමයි. දැන් මෙතන අපි calculation සෝතරම් කරනවානේ statements හදනවා. මේ විදිහටම අපි practice කරන්නේ. So there are a lot of differences between the theory and practice. Then what we have to do? අපි ඉගෙන ගත්තේ මේවා තමයි. ඒ නිසා අපිට මේවා කරන්න practice කියන්නේ. So we have to apply what we have learned into the practice, right? So however there exists a gap between the theory and practice. Rather than concerning about the gap, we have to reduce the gap. That is what we have to do. So practice must be studied and interpreted rather than concern about the gap, and study the practices and try to link the practices with the theories. So in every situation, what we have to do is identify the theory, and when it comes to practice, there can be a complete different thing. So what we have to do is try to link between, create a link between the theory and practice and move forward with those informations that we have. Right? So that is about the technical managerial views. What are the three world views that we have? Technical managerial view. Pragmatic interpretative views and critical socio-economic view. What is technical managerial view, Himasha? Technical managerial view, there are two words. Technical क्या है? Set of calculative practices. Managerial. Managerial means the management function, right? So that is technical managerial view. Then pragmatic interpretative view is the next world view. So there are people who are focusing on the management accounting under this particular view. So the pragmatic interpretative view is concerned with management accounting practice. And खाली තමයි කතා කරේ මේකේ calculative practices තියෙනවා, management functions තියෙනවා, and when we do same theory, when we apply a theory, the same outcomes they are expecting. කොහොම කිව්වේ technical managerial view එකකින්. So here the pragmatic interpretative view, this is concerned about management accounting practice. It means actually in practices what is happening in the management accounting. Theory එකේ මොනවා තිබ්බත් practice එකේ මොකක්ද වෙන්නේ කියන එක තමයි මෙතනින් බලන්නේ. By practice we mean the ways in which it is applied and the organizational consequences of such applications. These concerns are usually raised by the researchers rather than practitioners. Right? In this particular view, mostly the researchers are focusing on this particular view. ගොඩක් රිසර්ච් කරන කට්ටිය තමයි ඇත්තටම ප්‍රැක්ටිස් එකේ මොනවද වෙන්නේ කියලා හොයලා බලලා ඒගොල්ලෝ කියනවා okay. Even though the theory is like this, in practical situation, management accounting have these kind of things. These are the practical aspects. So those things mostly done by the researchers. There are three types of researchers who are focusing on management accounting practices. Some researchers provide descriptive accounts of practices, identifying prevailing problems and formulate solutions. It means there are a set of researchers focusing on management accounting practice. They try to identify what are the problems we currently have in management accounting. What are the ප්‍රශ්න කියලා identify කරගෙන for those problems they are trying to identify a solution. So that is one type of a researchers. There's another researchers, they are focusing on changing features and define the subjectives in more pragmatic terms. A pragmatic क्या pragmatic means practice, right? In practical situations, interpretative means they are going to interpret what is happening. Lazy, right? Pragmatic means the practice. In management accounting practice, what is happening, we have to identify. Then we have to interpret it, right? So in this field, there are three types of researchers. One type of researchers are focusing on management accounting problems. They are focusing on management accounting problems and they are formulating different solutions for those problems. That is one type of researchers. Second type of researchers are focusing on, they are not focusing on the problems and solutions. They are trying to identify how management accounting has changed from previous days to now. ඒ කාලේ තිබ්බ ඒවා අපි දැන් කරන්නේ management accounting වල ඒ කාලේ තිබ්බ දේවල් අපි දැන් වෙනස් වෙවි අලුත් දේවල් කරනවා. So those researchers are focusing on the changing features of management accounting. How management accounting has changed from previous days to now. Then third group of researchers are focusing on. They are more focusing on the practice. Right? Practice එකේ මොනවද තියෙන්නේ කියලා බලලා they try to create a link between the theories existent. දැනට හොයාගෙන තියෙන theories එක they are trying to link what we are currently doing. Create a link between theories and practice. So that is pragmatic interpretative, right? What is pragmatic interpretative? Pragmatic කියන්නේ practice, management accounting practice. Here mainly it's focusing on management accounting practice and interpreting how management accounting practices are happening in the organization. There are three types of researchers who are focusing on management accounting practice. First group of researchers are focusing on what? Well, they are focusing on problems associated with the management accounting and they try to develop a solutions for that. Second group of researchers are focusing on how management accounting has changed from previous days to now. Right? They are focusing on the changing features. Third group of researchers, they try to identify the practice and theories and create a link between the practice and theories. Clear? එහෙනම් කියන්න බලන්න. What is technical managerial view? Technical managerial, there are two words. Technical means technical set of calculative practices and managerial function, right? Then pragmatic interpretative view, focusing on management accounting practice. There are three researchers, three groups, three types of researchers focusing on management accounting practices. First group of researchers are focusing on problems associated with the management accounting and formulate different solutions. Second group of researchers focusing on, they are focusing on the changing features of management accounting, how management accounting has changed from previous days to now. Third group of researchers are focusing on practice and the theories. They try to create a link between the practice and theories. Right? Okay. So those are the first two worldviews of management accounting. We have another worldview that is critical socio-economic view. So that will keep and we'll move to next one. Here from this in pragmatic interpretative, we mainly focusing on what is actually happening in the organization, what is the practice, right? So in practice, the second group of researchers are focusing on what? They are mainly focusing on the changing feature of management accounting. It means how management accounting has changed. So this change from previous days to now. So there is a model called IFAC model. What is IFAC here? What is IFAC? IFAC is an organization. I here what? International. International down. International. International. Financial limit. IFAC means International Federation of Accountants. Right? So International Federation of Accountants, they have developed a model to identify how management accounting has changed from the previous days to now. Right? So they have divided this into 4 stages. And under those different 4 stages, there are 4 main focuses. Again, stage 1 neki api mokadda වැඩිපුරම focus කරේ. Right? And stage 2, how that particular main focus has changed from one particular into another one. Taking care that make is a make this is main focus. Right? So if we take so this is stage 1, right? In stage 1, the main focus of management accounting is cost determination and financial control. Maybe it is stage 1, right? So stage 1 here, this is the time period that we have identified management accounting practices. Management accounting කියලා දෙයක් පටන් ගන්නම ගන්න. මුල්ම කාලේ management accounting practices වල our main focus was cost determination and financial control. يعني ඒ කාලේ අපේ main focus එකට cost එක identify කරගන්න විතරයි. Right? Then after different time period ටික කාලයක් ගියාට පස්සේ then our main focus has changed. When we came to stage 2 එකට එනකොට කියන්නේ අපි හිතුවා අවුරුදු 10ක් 15ක් ගියා කියලා. After coming to the stage 2, the main focus of management accounting has changed to this. That is what? Information for management, planning and control. Right? Providing information for management, planning and control. Making කියන්නේ නැහැ. දැන් අපි cost එක identify කරන්නේ නැහැ කියලා කියනවා නෙමෙයි. Right? Cost එක identify කරන්නේ නැහැ කියලා නෙමෙයි කියන්නේ. When we are changing from stage 1 to stage 2, still we do this practice. Right? මෙන්න මේ රවුම ඇතුලේ it is included cost determination and financial control as well. This is also we do, but our main focus has changed. Our main focus is cost identify කරගන්න එක නෙමෙයි. Our main focus is to providing information for planning and controlling activities. But still, we are identifying the cost as well. When we are moving forward, right? When we come to the stage 3, our main focus has changed to this one. Our main focus is to reducing the wastage of corporate resources. So our main focus is stage 3 again. අපේ resources වල wastage එක අඩු කරන එක. But still we do the cost determination and financial control. This is also we are doing. And we do provide the information for planning and controlling activities. But our main focus is to reduce the wastage of corporate resources. Then it came to stage 4. So this is the current stage of management accounting. දැනට අපි ඉන්නේ මෙන්න මේ stage එකේ. In this current stage, our main focus has shifted to this. Right? Make ඇතුලේ we do cost determination and financial control. We do provide information for planning and controlling activities. And we do reduction of wastage of corporate resources. But our main focus is to creation of value by effective resource use. Right? So අපි organization එකට value එකක් create කරන එක තමයි management accounting වල දැන් අපේ main focus එක. නැතුව cost එක identify කරලා පැත්තකට line බෑ. Right? Our main focus of management accounting currently is creation of value. But we do these practices as well. Right? සාපලයක් විදිහට ගත්තොත් දැන් පොඩි කාලේ කරපු දේවල් සම්බන්ධ දේවල් අපි තාමත් කරනවානේ. කරනවද? ඉස්සර ඉස්කෝලේ ගිහිල්ලා ආවන් පස්සේ ඉස්සෙල්ලාම කරන්නේ මොකක්ද? ගෙදර එනවා කියන්නේ මොකක්ද? ගෙදර ඇවිල්ලා මොකක් කරන්නේ බලාගෙන ඉන්නේ. ඔසේ ඩාක්ටර් ඉන්නනම් ආලු බලන්න. මම දැන් කියලා මම දැනටත් සාඩු බලනවා. එතකොට දැනට කාඩ් බලනවා කියලා අපේ මේන් ફોකස් එක දැන් කාඩ් බලන එක. දැන් මට ඒක අපි කරනවා. වගේ තමයි. කාලින් කාලේට the main focus has changed, but we do those practices, same practices we do. Right? If we focus on this, we do these practices as well, but our main focus has changed now. දැන් උගලගේ main focus එක වෙන්න ඕන මොකද්ද? වෙලා තියෙන්නේ මොකද්ද කියලා මම දන්නේ නැහැ. What is your main focus should be? Huh? What's the main focus? Marriage? What? Main focus should be currently main focus should be your education, right? And that should be the main focus. එහෙම නැතුව වෙන විෂයක ફોකස් වෙන ફોකස් වැඩි කරගන්න ගියොත් වැඩි අවුල් යනවා. මම කියන්නේ අනිත් දේවල් කරන්න පාරිලා නෙමෙයි. මේ වගේම මේක ඇප්ලයි කරන්න පුළුවන් ඕනේ නේ. right? මේන් ફોකස් එක තියාගෙන අනිත් දේවල් කරන්න. So this is the time period that you have to focus on your education, right? Then කොච්චර කිව්වද අපි දැන් O level A levels වෙනකන් උගලන්ට ඕනේ දේ නෙමෙයි නේද? හරි ගෙදර කාර්තිය කියන විදිහට තමයි you have done your education. In Sri Lankan context, that is the scenario. Now you have you can take your own decisions. Then this particular 4 years you have to spend highly focusing on your education should be prioritized. අනිත් දේවල් කරන්න. මොකද ඉස්සරහට යද්දී after these 4 years මේ අවුරුදු 4 ඔයගොල්ලෝ ඉගෙන ගන්න දාන ටයිම් එක වගේ ටයිම් එකක් ඔයගොල්ලන්ට ඉස්සරහට කොපි කරන්න බෑ. right? ඒක අමාරුයි. අත්දැකීමේ කියන්නේ. ඒ කියන්නේ මේ අවුරුදු 4 ඔයගොල්ලෝ මේ ඉගෙන ගන්න සමහරලාට ඔයගොල්ලෝ කියනවා ඇති දැන් වැඩ වැඩි ඔෆිස් එකේ වැඩ කරන්න ඕන. ඊට පස්සේ ඒක කරන්න තියෙනවා මේකේ අසයින්මන්ට් දෙනවා මුලින්ලා බලුවා අසයින්මන්ට් මුලින්ලා බලුවා ප්‍රසන්ටේෂන් ඒකට මේ අවුරුදු 4 ඉන්නාට පස්සේ මුකුත්ම කරගන්න ඕන ටයිම් එකක් නැති. So when you have different responsibilities and accountabilities, you won't be able to do studies. So මේ දැන් කොච්චර වුණත් ඔයගොල්ලන්ට අර මොන්දරින් වුණත් නිදහස් දීලා තියෙනවානේ මේ වැඩ ටික කරගෙන. නෝඩ බර අඩුයි ඉස්සරහට යන්න යන්න responsibilities වැඩි වෙනවා මිසක් අඩු වෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඒ නිසා මේ අවුරුදු 4 කොහොම හරි අවුරුදු 4 වැඩි නම් මේක ඇතුලේ ඉන්න ජීවිතේට හිතන්න එපා. අවුරුදු 4න් මේක ඉවරයක් කරගන්න. සමහරව ඉන්නවා. මේ ඩිග්‍රී එක කම්ප්ලීට් කරගන්න නැති ළමයි කොන්තරම් ඉන්නවා. ඒ නිසා එන්න කරගන්න එපා. මොකද මට මතකයි මේ when I come to here as a lecturer මම මාක් කරපු පළවෙනි පේපර් එක මාත් එක්ක එකට හිටපු ළමයෙක්ගේ පේපර් එක ගත්තාම මම මේ ඇවිල්ලා පළවෙනි පාර්ට් එක කරනවා. ඒකට මේ එහෙම කරගන්න එපා. පුළුවන් තරම් ඉක්මනට ඉවර කරගෙන එළියට යන්න මේ නෝනා නෙමෙයි ඔයගොල්ලෝ. හතරට වැඩි කැම්පස් එකේ ඉන්නවා. හතරක් ඇදී මේ අවුරුදු 4 වැඩි කරා. right? ඒකට දැනටත් ඔය රිපීට් මෙඩිකල් එහෙම තියනවා නම් දැන් මොකද කම්ප්ලීට් කරගන්න because when you go to third year fourth year repeat වෙච්ච ඒවා කරගන්න ටයිම් එකක් නැහැ. so when you are going to the research and then දැන් ඔය මේවත් එක්ක repeat medical එහෙම තියනවා නම් කරගන්න අමාරුයි. ඒ නිසා ඒක තියනවා නම් කරලා ගන්න. Right. Okay. So this is the IPAC model. According to this, we can identify different stages how management accounting has changed. What is technical managerial? Technical and managerial. Technical means set of calculative practices and managerial function. Okay, then pragmatic interpretative. Pragmatic means what? Management accounting practice. Then what we are doing, identifying what is actually happening in the organization and interpreting. There are 3 types of researchers who are focusing on management accounting practices. One group of researchers are focusing on problems and finding solutions. Then second group of researchers are focusing on the changing nature of the management accounting practices. Third group of researchers are focusing on create a link between the theories and the practice. Then we discuss about the IPAC model, how management accounting has changed from previous days to now. So in stage 1, main focus, cost reduction. Main focus of stage 1. Cost determination and financial control. Then stage 2. Providing information for management, planning and controlling activities. Stage 3. Reduction of wastage of corporate resources. Stage 4. Creation of value to the business. Right. Take a quote. Right. Okay. Right. So far we discussed about difference between financial accounting and management accounting, and so we are discussing the basic concepts of management accounting. What are the worldviews and how management accounting has changed from previous days to now. And so next we can move to the next worldview. Before that, tell me what are the three worldviews? Technical managerial view. Technical socio-economic view. Right. What is technical managerial? What is technical managerial view? set of calculated practices and managerial function. Then pragmatic interpretation, focusing on management accounting practice. Right. So then we discuss about the IFAC model, and here this one also this is same thing, right? So the previously we had the IFAC model under 4 stages. Here the same thing. These are the 4 stages, right? So this is before the matching concept developed the accounting for processors. මේ නම් පදල තියාගන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. IFAC model එකේ stages 4ක් තියෙනවා. Stages 4 main focuses 4 මතක තියාගන්න නම් හරි. So same 4 stages are here. The cost accounting, this is stage 1. Right, so this is stage 1, 2, 3, and 4. So in stage 1, main focus was cost determination and financial control, the previous thing. Second one was the same thing, the information for management planning and control. Stage 3, focusing on reducing the wastages, and stage 4, creation of value for the business. And here stage 3 and 4, these are the 2 stages that management accounting practices has mostly developed. Stage 1 එකයි 2 එකටයි වැඩිය management accounting වල ලොකු change එකක් උනේ මේ stage 3 එකයි stage 4 එකයි. In stage 3 and stage 4 you can see there are a lot of different reduction of wastage methods, right? Teamwork, activity-based costing, target costing, quality investment, product life cycle, and there are a lot of management accounting practices as developed in this era. What is JIT? Just in time. Just in time can. What is just in time? Just in time. Just in time. Just in time. So the just in time, yes. Hear about just in time? Mata kau dia again. When here requirement, we are going to produce the product. Right. So that is one aspect of JIT. Normally, if we consider the JIT, just in time, right? Order product. So that is only one aspect of just in time. There are 2 things. One is we are producing the product. Once we get the order or the requirement, then we are starting production. That is one thing. Second one is we have to deliver that particular product to the customer when actually the customer need that particular product. You can order එක ආවන් පස්සේ හැදුවට වැඩක් නැහැ. හදලා අපි තියාගෙන ඉන්නවා. For an example, හෙට කාගේ හරි බර්ත්ඩේ එකක්. බර්ත්ඩේ එකට බර්ත්ඩේ කේක් එකක් ඕඩර් කරනවා කියලා හිතන්න. බර්ත්ඩේ එකට කේක් එක හදන්නේ ඕඩර් එක ගියාට පස්සේ කේක් එක හදනවා. Right? That is not JIT. That is only one part of just in time. හෙට තියෙන බර්ත්ඩේ එකට අනිද්දාට කේක් එක දුන්නොත් just in time එකේ වැඩක් නැහැ. Right? So we have to deliver that particular product. We should provide the product to the customer when actually customer need that particular product. Then only the JIT system is complete. Right? So there are 2 aspects. So likewise, there are different methods in management accounting. Cost reduction methods has developed in this particular era. That is stage 3. And stage 4 is the current practice. In the current environment, mainly the balance scorecards, customer value, strategy, economic value added, and there are different other methods as well. Right? So here we have another method called Target costing. Anyone knows about target costing? What is target costing? So there are two major differences between the target costing and the traditional costing practices. Target costing is one particular pricing method. We can call it as a pricing method, or even we can call it as a cost reduction method as well. How we determine the selling price of a product? එක methods තියෙනවා. හරි. සමහරවිට සාමාන්‍යයෙන් අපි general practice එක cost එක how we determine the selling price? First we have to identify the cost of the product. Then we are adding profit. Then we can identify selling price. This is one method. There are different methods, right? This is the most common way of identifying the selling price. In target costing, we are not identifying the cost when we are deciding the selling price first. ඉස්සෙල්ලම cost එක decide කරන්නේ. In target costing, what we do is first we decide the selling price, right? First we have to decide the selling price, and from that we should identify how much should be the profit. අපිට profit එක කියලා අපි කොච්චරක් ඕනද? Then we can identify the cost. මේක practically කරන්න පුළුවන්ද? එකපාරටම අපිට පුළුවන් selling price එක identify. දැන් මෙහෙම methods දෙකක් ඉන්වෝල්ව්. ඔයගොල්ලෝ management accountant කෙනෙක් විදිහට work කරනවා නම් organization එකට. ඔයා මොන methods එකකද කරන්නේ? Traditional method or the target costing. මම මුල් කරන්නේ දැන් GPT එක අහනවා මොකද්ද මේක කියලා. sorry. ඒ කියන එක දන්නව කරනවා. එහෙමද? Can we decide the selling price without considering the cost? Right? So there are different ways. So here what we do is identify the cost of the product. Let's say for an example, in this water bottle, when we are going to identify the selling price of this particular product, if we are using the traditional methods, first we have to identify the cost of this particular product. Plastics or identify. First we can identify the cost. Assume the cost is 80 rupees and we decide that we need 20 rupees as profits. Then selling price should be 100. So if we go through the target costing, first step is to identify the selling price. When we identify the selling price, selling price we can do some kind of a survey, right? From the potential customers, we are doing some kind of a survey and identify the average amount the people who are willing to purchase this particular product for how many rupees. අපි તો potential customers ලගේ අපි તો ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ survey එකක් කරලා ගන්නවා. මේක මම විකුණනවා ඔයගොල්ලෝ කීයක් ගෙවන්න කැමතිද? right? අපි හිතමු වැඩිපුරම අපි දැන් average කරලා ගත්තා when we average entire responses. Assume that selling price, most of them are agree to 90 rupees. Then still I need to have 20 rupees as a profit. Profit then cost should be 70. But how much is the actual cost? That at the cost key. Example A at the cost here. 80 rupees we have as a cost. Cost එකක් තියෙනවා. මේ කියන විදිහට රුපියල් 80ක cost එකක් තියෙනවා. Right? But if you are using target costing, it says cost should be 70 rupees. This method called target costing. This is not just to identify the cost of the product. From this particular method, it's providing us a target cost to achieve. Then making here make with having a 20 rupees as a profit, you have to maintain your cost at 70 rupees. Right? ඒ කියන්නේ මේක ඇත්ත cost එක 80ක් කියලා අපි දන්නවා. හරි. රුපියල් 80ක් යනවා මේක හදන්න. Then what we have to do, it provides us a target to achieve. Target cost එකක් දෙනවා. මේක 70 කරන්න ඕන. කරන්න පුළුවන්ද බැරිද? Internally we can do. So there can be different methods that we need to employ to reduce this cost from 80 rupees to 70 rupees. මේක මොකක්ද තියෙන වාසිය? cost එක අඩු කරගන්න පුළුවන් වුණොත් මොකක්ද තියෙන වාසිය? same 20 rupees එක අපිට. මොකක්ද තියෙන වාසිය? මේ දෙකේ එක difference එකක් තියෙනවා. So that difference matters a lot. When we are doing this traditional costing method, what we mainly focus, how much we are incurring to produce this product. ඒක අපි focus කරේ. මේ product එක හදන්න කොච්චර cost එකක් යනවා. Apart from that, we did not consider any other thing. මේකට demand එකක් තියෙනවද නැද්ද කියලා කොහේවත් බැලුවේ නෑ. අපි බැලුවේ මේ product එක හදන්න කොච්චරක් යනවද? හරි. රුපියල් 80ක් යනවා. Then 20 rupees we need as a profit. Selling price is 100. We did not consider, are there people to purchase this particular product or not? රුපියල් 100කට මේක විකුණද්දි මිනිස්සු ඉන්නවද මේක ගන්න කියලා බැලුවේ නැහැ. Right? We did not consider about the demand in this method. But here we consider the demand and identify රුපියල් 90කට විකුණුවොත් මේක විකුණ ගන්න පුළුවන් ඕන තරම් මිනිස්සු ඉන්නවා. Right? We did a survey and identified 90 තමයි මේක විකුණන්න ඕන ගන්න. 100ට ගියොත් මේක ගන්න මිනිස්සු නැහැ. ඒතර මේ methods දෙකේ මොකක්ද හොඳ? This is the most appropriate method. If we can reduce the cost using different methods, right? Internally, if we can reduce the cost using different cost reduction methods, this is the most beneficial method because here we consider the demand. Right? අපි මේක decide කරන්නේ demand එක consider කරලා. But here we did not consider the demand. අපි රුපියල් 100ට විකුණුවාට සමහර ලාවට විකුණ ගන්න බැරි වෙන්න පුළුවන්. There are no demand. මෙතන selling price එක අඩු වුණාට මේක විකුණ ගන්න පුළුවන්. There is a demand. Right? So these are the two different methods. So previously, earlier days we used that traditional costing method. Now most of the organizations are using this target costing. Not in every situation, they are having different pricing methods. What are the pricing methods? Pricing techniques. What are they? So this we call it as cost plus pricing. And here this is the target costing. What else? Now what are the pricing techniques? So already gave pricing. Any pricing techniques? Discount pricing techniques is there. What else? Now nothing. Psychological pricing is there. What is psychological pricing? Everything, those are psychological pricing. So by just looking at the price, we think that this price is lesser than the higher box, right? Then we have the value based pricing, penetration pricing, market skimming, early pricing techniques. So that so we'll be discussing pricing techniques later. So when you go to the supermarkets, you can see the competitive pricing. There were competitive products they come to premium prices are there, yes. Consumer products are going to they have same kind of a products. Common product එක තියෙන්නේ නම වෙනස් වෙන්න පුළුවන් එකක් gold market එකක market nickel market එකක පුළුවන් but the same kind of products taste can be or differences but same prices will be there product එකේ එකම price එක තමයි තියෙන්නේ who changes බලා ගන්න හම්බෙන්නේ නැහැ right so those are the competitive pricing right so that is about the target costing method. And there are different other methods as well. So this is one of the major developments in stage 4. That is the balance scorecard. So balance scorecard we will be discussing at a separate lesson. In the exam you might have to develop a balance scorecard. Balance scorecard. So those are the things that we have to discuss. Right. Next, the third world view, the critical socio-economic view. So this is about the critical evaluation of management accounting practices in relation to the interplay between the organizations and their wider socio-economic context, such as sociology, history, political science, anthropology. Right. Critical socio-economic view means simply how management accounting practices are linked with other subject areas, or how management accounting has relate with the wider socio-economic context and how those external environment affects the management accounting practice. Management accounting වල මොකක් හරි change එකක් කරනවා නම් ඒක කොහොමද external environment එකට බලපාන. And if external environment has any kind of a change, how those things will be affected to management accounting practices. The link between the external environment and the management accounting, it is coming under the critical socio-economic view, right? So there are three world views that we have discussed: technical managerial view, pragmatic interpretative view, and critical socio-economic view. Critical socio-economic view means manage the relationship between the management accounting practices and the external environmental factors, right? Okay. So those are the three world views. And next, what has changed in management accounting? So we discussed that from previous days to now, there are 4 stages, and under those 4 stages, there are different changes, right? Stage 1 again, main focus stage 2. This is likewise we have discussed. But we should know what has changed in management accounting and what has not changed. The change have become changed. There are some things that we have changed, and these are some of the reasons why management accounting has changed, right? Maybe reasons there can be some other reasons as well. What are the reasons when the management accounting change? But these are some of the major things. So first one is the globalization effects. Because of the globalization, management accounting, we had to change the management accounting practices. What is globalization? Globalization क्या होगा? Globalization. Okay, गोलाकार है क्या? Globalization means what? Globalization. What is globalization? Globalization means almost all the countries in the world, they are interconnected, and the countries are interdependent from other countries, right? Not all the countries. In Southern Africa, almost all the countries. Some other countries they are not willing to deal with other countries, right? So most of the countries they have to link with other countries, otherwise they can't survive. Because of those globalization, the management accounting also has to change a lot. The Lanka වගේ රටක් ගත්තොත් වෙන රටවල් එක්ක ගනුදෙනු කරන අපේ ජීවත් වෙන්න බෑ. ඈ මුල්ම නෑ. නේ? එල් නෑ, සම්ඩ නෑ, මුල් නෑ, මුත් ඇතිනවා අපේ රටවල් එක්ක ගනුදෙනු නොකරනවා. Right? So because of the globalization, there are a lot of so if we take Sri Lankan context, there are a lot of global organizations here. ලංකාවේ තියෙනවා දැන් work කරන companies ගත්තොත් බෞද්ධරයක් there are global organizations. Sometimes you may work for the global clients. Then WE is working on so you are working for the global clients. The global clients are ඔගොල්ලෝ serve කරන්නේ. ඔගොල්ලන් නිකන් අපිට ඕන විදිහට practice කරන්න බෑනේ. They might have their different standards. So in management accounting, internally when we are developing our practices, we have to in line with those global standards. So because of the globalization, we have to change our management accounting practices in line with those global standards. So then we have to change those things. Then the technological advancements. So because of those technological advancements, we have to change our management accounting practice. ඒ කාලේ තිබ්බ technology එක නෙමෙයි දැන් තියෙන්නේ. Earlier when I did my degree, මම degree කරද්දී අපි assignment එකක් කරද්දී Google එකේ දැන් Google නෙමෙයි යන්නේ කෙලින්ම මොකක් හරි AI tool එකකට තමයි දැන් යන්නේ. right? ඉවරේ කරන්නේ. ඔය assignments කරන්නේ එහෙම නෙමෙයි. තනියම ලියනකො. ඇයි එහෙම ලියන්නේ? එහෙම ලියන්නේ බා. AI software develop කරලා තියෙන එක. ඒක ඉතින් assignment විතරක් නෙමෙයි ඕන දෙයකට use කරන්නේ. දැන් මම මොනවාරි කිව්වොත් මේක ඇත්තද බොරුද කියලා බලන්න පුළුවන්. ඒක 100% ඒක වල dependence. Right? Research power does not need AI tools. In future, sometimes there can be a lot of changes, right? Changes කියන්නේ සමහර job power ඇති වෙන්න පුළුවන්. සමහර වෙලාවට තව අවුරුදු දෙක තුනකින් පස්සේ lecture එකකින් ඇති වෙන්න පුළුවන් maximum. Right? දැනටත් ඇත්තටම lecture එකේ ෆෝන් කියන්නේ Baltarasnya ini dia lecture එකේ ෆෝන් එක කියන්නේ ඇත්තටම lecture එකේ ෆෝන් එක මම දැන් කියන්නේ ඇත්තටම lecture එකේ sessions 15ක් තියෙනවා. sessions දෙකකට වගේ lecture ආවම හොඳට බෑ. මම පහකට වෙනවා. මේ එහෙම ආවනම් හොඳට බැලි. Because of the technology that we have. එහෙම technology එක available වුණාට ළමයි කරන්නේ නැහැ. ඒ නිසා තමයි lectures 15ක් තියෙන්නේ semester එකේ. එතකොට මම ඇවිල්ලා මෙතන කියන එක අමාරුවෙන් හරි අහගෙන ඉන්නේ. නැත්තම් මම මේ කියන ටික මම මේ කියනවට වැඩිය හොඳට informations are available in AI හරි කොහේ හරි ඕන තැනක තියෙනවා. මේ informations ටික හැමෝම තියෙනවා. මට වැඩිය අප්ඩේට් විදියට තියෙනවා. right? මීට වැඩිය මේක explain කරන්න කිව්වොත් ඒකත් කරනවා. පින්තූරයක් ඇඳලා මේක පෙන්වන්න කිව්වොත් ඒකත් පෙන්වනවා. right? drama එකක් කරලා මට මේක තේරුම් කරන්න කිව්වොත් ඒකත් හදලා දෙනවනේ. මං කියනවට වැඩිය 100,000 ගුණයකට වැඩිය හොඳට ඒක කරන්න පුළුවන්. Therefore, in future, sometimes we might lose our jobs. That is the thing. Iස්සරහට සමහරවිට දැන් අපි ඔඩිට් කරනවා කියලා කරන දේවල් ඔක්කොම manually ඇතුළු automated කියලා පුළුවන්. දැනටත් නම් ඔඩිට්ස් වල sample select කරන්නේ මම කරේ software එකකින් නේ. ඒක ඉස්සරහට ඔඩිට් එකක් තනිකරම automatically වෙන ඒවා වෙන්න පුළුවන්. accounting field එකේ විතර නෙමෙයි හැම field එකේම ඔච්චර තමයි. අපි දැන් කලින් හිතන් ඉන්නේ earlier we thought that those highly skilled jobs will not be in the age. දැන් ඒවා තමයි medical information එකේ තියෙන්නේ. දැන් ඉස්සරහ අපි හිතුවා චිත්‍රයක් අඳින්න සින්දුවක් කියන්න නටන්න වගේ දේවල් වලට තමයි ප්‍රශ්නේ නැහැ. අනිත් ඒවා theoretically වගේ දැන් සින්දුවක් කියලා ජීවත් වෙන්න බෑ. මොකක්ද ඉස්සර ඉඳන් හිටියා හරි මේක නැතිවොත් මට සින්දුවක් හරි කියන්න පුළුවන්. දැන් ඒකත් ඕන තරම් ඒ software දිනවා සින්දු හදන්න පුළුවන් සින්දු කියන්න පුළුවන්. මෙලඩි දාන්න පුළුවන්. ඕන එකක් කරන්න පුළුවන්. So there are different technologies. දැන් මේ දවස්වල ඉන්න ඉදා famous උනානේ ඔය සින්දු වල rock versions යහුවා. ඒ සිං කරන picture වලට අපිට සිං කරන්න බෑ. දැන් ඒකයි කවුරුහවත් සිං කරන්න බෑ. ටෙක්නොලොජි එකෙන් හදලා තියෙන්නේ. So that kind of a danger is there, right? So that is because of technological advancement. So directly the management accounting practices also has changed now because of those technological advancements, right? And the new customer needs. So if we compare with previous days, previously the customer needs and the current customer needs are completely different. ඉස්සර සාමාන්‍ය customer කෙනෙක්ගෙන් අපි මොකක් හරි විතමු company එකේ if we have any kind of a fault in our products මොකක් හරි error එකක් තිබ්බා කියමු අපි product එක ඉස්සර නම් ඒ customer ඇවිල්ලා organization එකට ඇවිල්ලා they will provide that particular product මේක මාරු කරලා දෙන්න එහෙම කියලා complaint එකක් දාලා මාරු කරලා product එක ගන්න. But now දැන් කීයේ කී දෙනාට company එකට ඇවිල්ලා complaint කරන්නේ? ඒක complaint කරන්නේ නැහැ. දැන් කොහෙද complaint කරන්නේ? restaurant එකට ගිහලා මොනවා හරි කාපි. ස්කෑම් එකේ මොනවා හරි තියෙනවා. එතන ඉන්න මිනිස්සුන්ට කතා කරන්න ඉස්සෙල්ලා ෆෝන් එක තමයි ඉස්සෙල්ලාම කරන්නේ. right? හරියට වීඩියෝ කරන්නේ. Then you can put it in the social media or whatever the platform. Then no need to go for the organization. It will spread all around the world. So what Samala, if you can print the the damage is way more than that. So therefore, we have to focus on that. The new customer needs, based on that, we have to change our management accounting practice and the competition. Right? So there's a huge competition, not only in same industry. Samala, ekam industry kitne mein? Industry ke quita kattiya dekan competition mein ye good, right? And production and marketing campaigns. So there are huge marketing campaigns. Lanka mein godak kattarwa mass media marketing campaigns. In Sri Lanka, we have some kind of a ethical guidelines to work. But in some countries, not like that. Directly, they are telling the other competitors, organization name and do the marketing. Coca-Cola MCM and same deal on YouTube begin about Coca-Cola again number. To the advertisement. In fact, you know, they have the vending machine. Regular this model make a vending machine negative. What is the mega to register? They are solid. They are Usala make the way the way they are. They have the color below. I had a race car and Mulva, Poke garden. Coca-Cola එක විතරයි ප්‍රෙස් කරන්නේ. එයා සල්ලි දාලා Coca-Cola දෙකක් ගන්න. අරගෙන ඒ ටීම් දෙක තියෙනවා මේ උස බඳින නිසා ඒ ටීම් දෙකට නැගලා ආයි සල්ලි දාලා Pepsi ගන්න. Pepsi එක අතර අරගෙන අර දෙක එහෙමම තියනවා. ඒක ගෙනියන්නේ දෙදිලා ගන්න එක එකම තියලා Pepsi එක අරගෙන යනවා. Right? So that is how they do marketing. Can't home there. We have kind of a rules and regulations. So that kind of marketing campaigns are there. Therefore, based on these different reasons, we have to change our management accounting practices as well. Then these are some of the new trends in management accounting, right? Now we Okay. And those who are in online, so if you have any issues, you can ask So next week we'll discuss what we are going to do for the assignment. Who will have the assignment? Groups should be the same. Presentation what? Presentation. Right, so we'll discuss next week what should be the assignment and One, two, three, four, five, six, 7, 8, 9. Nobody make the bag. One bag 1 to 10. Link කැමති ඉලක්කමක් කියන්නේ. මම 9 කියලා. කොහොමද 9 ගානක් කරගෙන ආවම ඔයාලට ඒකට next week එකේ මම කරපු පාඩම summarize කරන්න ඕනේ ඊට next week ඔයගොල්ලන්ට දැන් අද තේරුම් නැති මොනවද තියෙනවනම්